Hi, I am coming on here to make my first YouTube video. And I thought, why not read books, to y'all? So, if you have the Nightbooks or you want to go buy it before, you continue this video, you are more than welcome, or you can just listen. Unfortunately, I will not have words for you to follow, but, I'll be reading it to y'all. So, we'll just start with chapter 1, and each video will be a chapter at a time. Alright. Chapter 1. The Wrong Floor. After his family had finally fallen asleep, Alex slung the backpack over his shoulder and snuck out of the apartment, easing the front door gently home so it didn't slam shut. The 8th floor hallway looked drearier than ever. Without any sunlight coming through its small windows, Alex lingered on the doormat, fighting the urge to turn his warm, comfortable bed. If you do that, he thought, you'll still be the same old Alex, Musher, tomorrow. Weirdo, freak, loser. Is that what you want? Nope, he whispered. No, he whispered. Before he could change his mind, Alex started toward the elevator at the end of the hall. During the day, snippets of his neighbors leaked through the thin doors, muffled conversations, the loud blare of televisions, and Miss Grace's son practicing his violin. At this time of the night, however, the hallway was nearly silent. The only sounds were a grimy light bulb that buzzed, like an angry hornet, or a soft rustling from Alex's backpack, as though incontents were struggling to escape their fate. Sorry, Alex thought, feeling a wave of guilt. I wish I didn't have to do this, but it's the better way. He reached the elevator and pressed down the button and cracked a panel. Far below him, a gear squealed away the silence. Alex winced and peeked over his shoulder, hoping that the sound didn't wake any of his neighbors. The stairs would have been a quieter option, but Alex wanted to reach his destination as quickly as possible, so he didn't have an opportunity to second-guess his decision. The elevator doors jerked open with a pained squeak. Smudged mirrors paneled the walls. Alex stepped inside and clicked the B button. The basement was his favorite place in the entire apartment building. It was a spooky and weird and packed ceiling high with towers and knickknacks left behind by former tenants, like a graveyard for unwanted items. The most amazing part, however, was a boiler or an iron monster built nearly 60 years ago. Alex called it Old Spooky. It was his destination tonight. The elevator doors closed and the car began to descend in slow, jerky increments. Alex tapped his foot impatiently, though his backpack was far lighter than usual and seemed to weigh him down like an anchor. I'll feel better after they're gone, he thought. Just toss them in the flames and walk away. Don't even stick around to watch them burn. Of course, Alex could have just dumped the contents of his backpack down the trash chute and been done with it, but they seemed cruel. Criminating, and that Old Spooky felt more honorable, like setting the body on a fallen warrior flame. Alex knew he owed him a death. At least, after all, he was the one who created them. The elevator stopped. The doors cracked open. Alex tilted his head in confusion. Instead of the basement, an unfamiliar hallway stretched out before him. He checked the digital display at the top of the elevator floor. Must be broken, he thought, jabbing the B button with the index finger. The elevator didn't move. Alex sighed with frustration. Looks like I'm taking the stairs up, all he thought. He stepped off the elevator and headed toward the stairwell. The 4th floor was the same basic layout as the 8th, but it was noticeably dark. Alex glanced up at the light bulbs, wondering if a few of them had burned out, but they seemed to be working fine. For some strange reason, however, their glow didn't radiate as far as it should, as though the darkness of this particular hallway was harder to penetrate than the ordinary kind. Just my crazy imagination, Alex thought, ignoring the cold sensation creeping down his spine. The bulbs are probably just old. Or he heard voices. They were coming from the apartment at the end of the hall. At first, Alex thought it was just the people who lived there, and it got closer. However, creepy music rose in the background, and Alex realized the voices belonged to characters from a movie. He broke into a big grin as he recognized the dialogue. That's Night of the Living Dead, he thought. Alex had been 4 years old the first time he saw the movie. He was supposed to have been asleep, but the strange sounds coming from the living room had piqued his curiosity, and so he had crept out of the bed to investigate. His mom and dad were cuddled up on the couch, sharing a bowl of popcorn. Alex hid behind his dad's easy chair and trained his eyes on the television. He had never been so terrified or exhilarated in his life. By the time his parents realized they had an unwelcome visitor, it was too late. Alex was in love. At the end of the month, his Thomas trains had been exiled to a bin into the basement, replaced by toy monsters, plastic fangs, and stuffed ghosts named Boo. He dismantled his Lego fire trucks and rocket ships and used bricks to build a haunted house. At the library, Alex insisted on borrowing only the picture books with little Halloween labels on their spines, despite the fact that it was June. Night of the Living Dead had been his introduction to the world of creepy things, and for that reason it held a special place in his heart. Hearing it now, overpowering desire to watch the movie again fogged all the other thoughts, and Alex approached the door, apartment 4E. The static-filled soundtrack reeling him in like a fishing line and pressed their ear against it. It was one of the earliest scenes in the movie, just before Barbara and her brother are attacked by a zombie at the graveyard. I barely missed anything at all, Alex thought with excitement. He had, for the moment, completely forgotten about his backpack, and for his reason coming out at night, all he could think about was the movie. He was desperate to see it. If Alex had been thinking clearly, he might have realized that this didn't make any sense. After all, he could. Watch Night of the Living Dead anytime he wanted to his iPad. Surely that was a better choice than knocking a stranger's door in the middle of the night. Unfortunately, Alex was not thinking clearly. His green eyes, unusually so sharp and inquisitive behind their glasses, had gone uncharacteristically flat, and his mouth hung open in a baffled expression, giving him a striking resemblance to one of the zombies from the movie. Alex knocked on the door with 3 quick taps. A woman answered almost immediately, as though she had been expecting his arrival. "Well, look at this," she said, peering down at him. "A visitor." The woman was in her late 20s, with dark skin, short spiky hair. She wore all black and a lot of makeup, especially around her eyes. "I'm sorry," Alex said, his mind swirling. "What am I doing here? I don't know why I knocked. I just heard..." "What did you hear?" she asked, leaning forward with an eager expression. "Tell me." "The movie," the woman smiled. There were tiny gaps between her near teeth, giving her the look of the one-nosed weird, glowing fish that purl in the deepest part of the ocean. "A movie?" she asked with a genuine curiosity that knew which one. Alex gave the woman a strange look. He could still hear the television blaring behind her, the zombie now banging in the window of the barber's car. Yet she was acting like she heard nothing at all. "Don't you know?" Alex asked. "Why should I?" "The movie's for you, not me." She opened the door wider. "You want to watch it?" she asked. "I bet it's one of your favorites." A beam of fear cut through the fog of Alex's thoughts. It's the middle of the night and I'm having a conversation with a total stranger like it's the most normal thing in the world, he thought. What was wrong with me? He took a step back, intending to leave as quickly as possible when he smelled something wonderful coming from the apartment. Freshly baked pumpkin pie, his favorite. He breathed in the comforting smells of nutmeg and cinnamon. All fear instantly evaporated. This woman isn't a threat, he thought. Just a nice lady who likes horror movies like me. The movies from the Night of the Living Dead, Alex said. 1968. Directed by George Romero. "Ah," said the woman. "How interrogating. And was I right? Is it one of your favorites?" "Top 10, right between the let the right on, when the let the right one in, and the ring." Alex stood apologetically. "I like scary stuff." "You sound like a kind of kid," the one replied, grinning. "It's crazy. I just about to kick back and watch the movie when I thought the only thing missing is someone to share this with. Someone who really appreciates it, and here you are." She opened the door and all the way, allowing Alex views of comfortable-looking couch and coffee table piled with oatmeal, raisin cookies, and pumpkin pie. Across from this cozy setup, a huge TV played the black and white images he longed to see. Barbara straining toward the farmhouse where she could be trapped for the rest of the movie with zombies and hot pursuits. Alex took a step forward. Intercede. "Well, don't just stand there, geeking silly boy," the woman said. "Come inside." Even later, when Alex knew that he had been under the influence of a powerful spell, he found it hard to believe that he had entered the apartment so easily at the time. It was like his body, not his own, but a mouth drawn to the flickering lights of the television. He crossed the threshold. The door clicked shut behind him. "Gotcha," the woman said underneath her breath. She slipped a cold hand under his wrist. All the energy seemed to leave his body. Alex sank into the cushions of a nearby couch, barely able to keep his eyes open. The woman eased into the chair across from him. The smile had faded from her lips. "What's your name?" she asked. Alexander. Alex. Which one? Alex, he said. He looked around the apartment in confusion. The television had vanished along with the coffee table and the pumpkin pie. Where did the TV go? Alex asked. It was never there. No, he insisted. I saw it. The apartment does what it can do to get you inside. Different for everyone. A movie is an odd choice. Traditionally, it's some sort of food that draws them. Kids are always thinking with their stomachs, you know. I smell pumpkin pie. There you go. It was becoming harder for Alex to focus. The room kept toddling back and forth, like when you first step off the pirate ship ride at the amusement park. He felt like he might be ill. I want to go home, he said. Obviously, that's not going to happen, Alex. He turned to his seat, moving impossibly slow, hoping to make a mad dash for the door. Except the door had vanished. The place where it had once stood was nothing but a blank wall. Where did the door go? He asked greedily. Away, the woman said. Don't worry, you won't be needing it anymore. But that's not possible, Alex said. Doors they can't. Haven't you figured it out yet? She asked, grinning with pride. I'm a witch! Just like in the storybook, she touched a single fingernail to his forehead. And you, little mouse, have fallen right into my trap. Alex tried to stand, but his legs turned to jelly and he collapsed on the floor instead. A wave of darkness crashed over him. And that will be it for today. I hope you have a blessed one. God loves you.